Good morning. Today's Thursday. We've had a very busy yet slow morning. I ran some errands. I had to go get the title and license for my new trailer and had time to go do that. And what else did I do? Bank, gas, stuff. Anyway, Dad and I came to Berkey here. He's going to finish up some chiseling in the field where we're tiling. They're hoping to finish tiling today or maybe tomorrow, but see how that goes. And we are going to take the 7520 and the mower back to Waldron. We're done with it down here. Got all the mowing done, so that's why I came with him. We jump in the tractor and off we go. This tractor's not a terrible one to drive back and forth. It goes 26 or 27 miles an hour, so it's a little speedier than the 8RX on tracks with 20 miles an hour. That tractor does go faster, but I don't drive it any faster than that long down the road. Or the combine or that kind of stuff, so off we go. We'll see you in Waldron. You can see this field here has got a greenish cast to it. That's our wheat. It's coming. That looks pretty darn good to me. I don't remember how long it's been since we planted it, but it is coming up. Now that was the first field that we planted. This was planted the next day, and it doesn't look the same. So it's just coming through. I can see it out there, but it's not as much. So anyway, looks good. We made it! What time is it? 1:40. I don't know how long that trip took us. But whatever, it's fine. On the way back, I had somebody call me wanting me to treat wheat for him, so we got to figure that out. And it still hasn't rained here today. Did a little overnight, but it hasn't today. It's almost 2 o'clock. Maybe we can combine beans, so we need to go look at a field. So this is the field of beans that I would like to come and harvest today. Let's see if they seem somewhat dry. So we had like, just say 200s, 400s. I mean, barely any rain. Just enough to say that it rained last night. When a pod doesn't come off the stem, that's not a good sign. Yeah, I don't know. Seem a little tough to me. Not super soft, but it didn't crack. If we had any sunshine at all today, I think they would go, but I'm not convinced. That was a little better. See how the pod just doesn't quite break open? You got to kind of peel them, the halves apart. That tells me they're not quite dry enough. And then when I try and bite the beans, they smash instead of cracking and splitting. These are not there yet. I'm not saying we won't do any today. I'm saying that we can't go quite yet. It's 2 o'clock, maybe by 4 o'clock. It's almost trying to be sunny. Almost. If we could get an hour of sunshine, I'd be out here. But that's okay. We got other things to do in the meantime. This always happens, right? First of all, the sun's coming out. Second of all, I just called that customer that wanted me to treat some wheat for him and said, hey, I just looked at our beans. I think they're a little tough yet. If you want to bring that wagon over, we'll at least get it here if I can't treat it right now. And he's like, well, we started running beans. I can't do it right now. Okay. So, well, we're going to combine beans, but probably in like an hour or so. It's 2 o'clock. If I get over there by 3, there's 75 acres. We'll get it done. We'll get it done tonight. All right, I need to get this wagon out of here. Brock kind of moved stuff out of the way after he got done getting that wheat for us to treat or to finish planting and move the auger. So we gotta put a box back up there, put the auger back in place, clean up the floor a little bit. Apparently, I need to clean out the conveyor. What is that? Anyway, it's fine. So we'll get some stuff organized here and figure out what Phil wants to do as far as combining. He's not at the farm right now, so I don't know where he went. But yeah, maybe in a little bit we're going to go. All right, well, we are set back up again. I haven't winterized the treater yet, but I did flush all the lines and everything out, so there's no treatment in the lines, which means we got to reprime everything. It's fine. I've got, I don't know, how much is that? It's about right here's the level. This is 30 gallons. There's got to be close to 10 in there. 10 gallons of treatment. So this guy said he had potentially 3 gravity wagons. Now, I don't know how much that is. 3 gravity wagons, but we got to be talking about close to 500 bushel or something. That's going to use up a lot of treatment. So that's a good thing. I think, you know, they want to do a little bit at a time just to see what we get planned and how the weather cooperates and everything. But yeah, I'll trade it. If I can do it, I will do it. I know that's not perfect, but I'm feeling pretty darn good about backing that in there with my pickup like that. Holy crap. That was good. Nice. We'll get her unhooked here. Get some blocks so it doesn't roll through our wall. Okay. Well, I got some computer work done, and my sister Aunt called, so I talked to her for a while, and we had a little intermittent sunshine. We didn't have some sunshine. We're going to go. We're going to try it. So we're going to get the combine out here and head to that field that we checked a little while ago. There's about 75 acres there, like I said. We should get it done today, so assuming this thing works. Just shut it off, turn it back on, it'll fix it. I get lots of questions from those of you that have been watching for a while about the oil burning issue on our combine and whether it is resolved. This will tell us a pretty good indication. I would say it is not resolved. Like, that level is okay, it's right at the second hole. But when we started the year, we were above the top hole. So it may have slowed some, but we're still burning some oil. Okay, well, we're combining. We got dust. It says they're in the mid-14s. There's nothing wrong with that. I think these are going to be really good beans. We'll talk about that a little bit more because this field compared to the one we did yesterday, the yield's going to be drastically different, but why? Went and got the grain cart. No Brock today, so the cart will sit on the end of the field unless Phil wants to run it some, which is fine. We'll be okay. Making some passes through the middle here. Every now and then our machine sync still kicks out on that tractor. I don't know why. Communication issues. Good beans. Let's see, this round average 78 since I unloaded last time. Going well. Hopefully we can get this done. There's like 65 acres in this field and then 9 across the little ditch there. 675, 74 something total in the field farm here. This right here is the pass we were making last year with the combine in the grain cart. When Dad was in the combine, I was running grain cart, unloading on the go, and that wire right there in front of us that goes over to that pole, yeah, it ended up on the ground. Turns out it's not high enough to clear the combine auger when the auger's out. Yeah. Oh well. They fixed it. What? Wow! It's bright sunshine. Not that we really need it now, but we'll be fine with it. These are really good beans, and they're really good on both ends, and they drop off in the middle, but not like a lot. Like dark greens. Look at those numbers. These are really good beans. It's fantastic. It's a lot of fun when you have stuff like this, you know? Yeah. So we can barely make a round once we got past the house here. The rows do get shorter because of this ditch and that angle on the far side there, so that will change that a little bit, but we'll see. We're 33 acres into this field, so about half of this field, a little bit more, and we should get it done. Well, we'll see how late we can work tonight. It is going to get dark on us before we're done here, but as long as it doesn't get tough too early, we'll finish up. So I'm trying to make a plan for tomorrow because it looks to me like we're going to have the rest of today and tomorrow before tomorrow night some rain sets in. I am debating whether it is worth messing around with my plot first thing tomorrow or not, and then maybe heading up to my 30-inch rows field that we irrigated corn in last year. There should be some really good beans. I'm thinking about going there because that would allow us to have the biggest day and get the most done. So, problem is, if I screw around with the plot, I'm already giving up on getting the most done that I can. So we could just go straight there and try and get the field done. There's 174 acres. I highly doubt we would finish it, but we could do a lot of it. So, I don't know. We'll make a plan. We'll figure it out. Got a cart driver for one round here until he gets a full cart, and we're having to use the machine sink to load that cart because it's going to be full by the time we get empty, I'm pretty sure. Bump him forward here. Plus we got the sun at the wrong angle and dirty windows making it a little difficult to see. Bump him again. Fill the back half of the cart up real good, and then we'll start dropping him back and filling the front half. And go. Go. Go, go, go. Nice. We'll go, we'll get it there. You go one more, should be fine. That's a semi-load for him.
That's pretty freaking awesome.
Isn't that cool?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, see? All right, we're going through today, we're harvesting, we're having fun with it. However, we need a good catchy title for this video, and I have a combine that will turn itself, so we can throw some turn automate, whatever the title is. I made it up based on this video clip right here. So, here we go. Auto track turn automation on a combine. Not the first video of it, but the first one that people are probably watching it. I do have to lift the head up, number one. That's it, that's all I'm doing. Isn't it cool? It's pretty dang cool. I'm not. Number two. And we're combine. Just like that. Pretty dang cool. Now we do have to swerve around this pole that's up here so we don't hit it. Yeah. Alright, well now that we got a title for this video, we are about done with this field. Just what? What do we got? 2 more rounds? Yeah, round and a half yet. Count the lines. You can see how much is left over there. So, wrapping it up, really good beans. Really, really, really good beans. We like that. It has fallen off. There's some spots over on this side that are a little poorer spots, like where these weeds are up here. And there was a spot over there that was no good. Hey, you have that. The average is still really good. And like we said yesterday, average is what counts. So, Phil just got another truck loaded, so he's heading out with that. And then we've got that 9 acres just across the ditch, kind of beyond where the grain cart's sitting over there, that we're going to do tonight. I have made a plan for tomorrow. We're going to do the plot tomorrow first thing. Hopefully late morning, try and get through that as quickly as possible. And then we're going to move up to my 30-inch rows in the irrigated field. We didn't irrigate the beans there, but it's where we have our really good corn, and those beans have been really good, and I've pushed them, and there is some white mold, so we'll see how much that's going to hurt us, but we've got some pretty darn good beans up there too. So that's tomorrow's plan. Now, there is chances of rain tomorrow, although it looks like it's going to push off into the night, so we should have a really good day of running and get a lot done. All right, we're just making the last pass in this field, and I can see on my background map here that brown, the purple and the brown is different varieties from the planting map. Like it's a different variety here. And so I was curious, well, what variety is that? What variety am I in? I couldn't even remember what I had in this field. So I pulled up the map over here on my Connect mobile display, and it tells me, and I am floored by what variety we have here. Clearly, they're excellent beans, right? They've been fantastic beans all the way across this field. Very little white mold in this field, almost none. This is the same bean, the 3-0, that I had in that field we did 2 days ago that was just decimated with white mold. Around the corner there, remember the one I showed the drone picture of? This is the same bean. There's no white mold here. I thought it was pretty heavily weather dependent on whether or not we had it, but clearly the soil type or some other practice that we did here made a big difference, because these beans have been just outstanding. Save for a few spots right there where we're going through right now. Thin beans, that yield's gonna drop way off. Like, it's the same bean. I would not have guessed that. Like, I was ready to get rid of this variety, but as good as they're doing here, like, how can I get rid of them? They're averaging 75 on this whole field, 61 acres. Also, here's our cameras from our clean grain elevator again. Look pretty clean. We have had a few more pods in this field. Phil's said something to me on the radio a couple of times. I've been trying to clean it up. They don't show up in the cameras super well. That's the clean grain. Here's the tailings. The tailings one is interesting. It seems to pile up for a while, and then it kicks everything out. So the way the camera reads is actually kind of a little side chamber off the tailings conveyor in the clean grain elevator, and there's a little auger that cycles stuff through. So we'll watch it here for a second, but you can kind of see it building up, and this is the stuff that's going through the tailings. Someday I will explain that to you and what tailings means, but not right now. But essentially, it's stuff that's getting run back through the combine a second time. Mostly pods, sticks, not stuff we want. There's a couple of beans in there that we can see right there, but not a ton of actual beans in it, which probably means, well, it means we're doing a pretty good job, actually. We might be able to turn up our air or close our chaffer down just a little bit, but it's doing what it's supposed to do and letting the beans through and kicking the other stuff over so that it has another chance to get thrown out the back of the combine. I thought that little auger that's in there would turn on, and it would kind of, there it goes. All that stuff moves out. It clears out the chamber, and the camera goes basically black because there's nothing in front of it until that auger shuts off, and then you can kind of see some stuff falling in over here, and eventually it will build back up and look at it again, I guess. So that's how the tailings one worked. The clean grain is a little different. It just kind of constantly is moving everything through. Every few seconds you get a new picture, new beans. It is highlighting problems that it sees. It's not always super accurate to find all of this stuff, right? Like there, it thinks it's broken. There's a broken one it didn't highlight. That's foreign material that it's sensing there. And that's all AI in the computer. That's it doing it all by itself. So kind of cool. There's it's saying on thresh, but it's really just a pod. Light foreign material, broken grain. It does find stuff. Usually there is more than it finds, but pretty impressive what it can do. Again, same thing as yesterday when I was talking about, was it yesterday or maybe it was earlier? I don't know. About the turn automation and stuff. It was a couple days ago. Oh, it was yesterday. It's all steps towards full automation. Eventually, we're going to have combines with no drivers in them. They've started to do tractors with no drivers in them. And that's coming fast. Combines is a ways off yet. But every little automated task that you can do, and things like analyzing the grain quality is one of them, the easier it is to not have a driver. Last pass, full pass. Impressive. Kind of. Really, it was I set the line when I was doing the end rows down there so that I knew it would come out right, and then we did our point rows on the far side where we started. Crossing over to the other field here, we have to jump out across the road bridge. The town wastewater lagoons are inside that fence over there, right there, and they've got the line's buried under the road, but there's a ditch here that they can drain stuff to sometimes. Anyway, that's how we get over to this field, and then we've got kind of a steep ditch right here, so we have to drive down to this other corner, which is just right here. Is the long skinny piece. We're gonna get this done, this little field here, because we don't have much to do, but the old auto combine, what do we call this? Harvest Smart speed control has slowed us down to a crawl because they're getting tough. They're getting tough. Done. Well, we made it. We're going to get stuff moved home, but that's going to be it for tonight. Like I said, plot first thing in the morning. So these were good too, 66. When you get small fields like this, the end rows are a higher percentage of the field in anything along trees and stuff. And so it's hard to get those super good averages when you got, you know, end rows. End rows suck. I feel for the guys out there in Pennsylvania and New York that have all these 10 and 15 acre fields. They just must raise really crappy crops because they got trees all the way around them. And, well, trees are yield killers. Country dirt roads. Good for not backing up traffic. Alright, so I referenced this earlier in the video that we were going to talk about that field a little bit. I don't remember what exactly I was talking about, but a couple of things struck me as odd from that field. Those were 75 bushel beans, right? That is fantastic. Now, those beans were planted at the same time, roughly, within a day, of the beans that we ran yesterday. When the only thing I could say that we may have done wrong was planting them at the wrong time, or just hit the timing just wrong, that we had a poor stand establishment. So why is that field so much better? Like, they were planted back to back. I don't have an answer for that. The other thing that really caught me off guard there was that that's the variety that is super susceptible to white mold. We had a terrible year for white mold. That bean in another field was just decimated in areas with it, and yet there was none of it there. Why? I don't have an answer. I don't know. I need to look at our practices and see what's different, tillage-wise, crop rotation-wise, anything like that, and see if, I mean, maybe that field was wheat 2 years ago when we had white mold really bad, and so it didn't have the inoculum there like some of the other fields. Because the one that we did a couple days ago, they had that same variety, and I had white mold really bad in that field 2 years ago too. So I gotta tell you, I'm a little at a loss for why those beans were as good as they were. And they looked at, I knew they were going to be pretty good beans, but planting date tells me they shouldn't have been, and the variety tells me that they should have been full of disease. So, good for us, right? Running the grain cart back to the farm. I did look it up. Those beans were planted the day before the ones we combined yesterday. Different variety, but like I said, it was the variety that was full of white mold in another field, and there was none there. Now, I also looked up, we did have wheat there 2 years ago. So it's possible that that 3-year cycle instead of 2-year cycle kind of helped reduce the amount of the fungus present. It is also possible that 2 years ago was a significant white mold year for us. Most of the fields are back into beans that were beans that 2 years ago, including the one that was really bad the other day. And so the fact that this field was not beans that year, that the last time we had significant white mold, maybe that means that, you know, it wasn't able to reproduce and it wasn't as present. So I don't know, but it's good. So anyway, I'm going home as soon as I get home from this. So thanks for watching today. Have a great rest of your night. We're going to have another big day of combine and beans tomorrow. And I will see you guys in the morning. So if you haven't liked the video yet, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate that. Let's have a little harvest run here and pick up a few subscribers. Get another 1,000 or something for me. I would very much appreciate that. So thanks, everybody. Have a great night.